Goeienaand. Good evening, fellow South Africans. And what I have here is a very relevant video. It's brand new. It's to do with the APEC conference. It took place in Papua New Guinea a few days ago. And in this video, the Vice President of the US, Mike Pence, goes head-to-head with President Xi of China in two different presentations to the entire conference. You'll notice that China is suggesting that, they're happy to help people out and there are no strings attached and all this sort of stuff. We know the truth. And so does America. Because in this video, you'll hear Vice President Mike Pence from the USA saying, be very, very careful about borrowing money from China. Because if you can't pay it back, and he qualifies that by saying there are a lot of countries, and I think he's referring to countries like Zambia, Kenya, South Africa, etc., who are taking out huge loans from China, and China will want its pound of flesh. And that pound of flesh will be basically delegitimizing the independence and integrity of those countries as they take over the utilities, they take over the ports, they take over the airports, basically colonizing countries which have become indebted to them. So it's a very interesting and relevant debate, even though this is to do with APEC and to do with the Pacific region, because what China are doing, they're doing all over the world, wherever they can find a soft target, and South Africa is clearly one. All right, guys, have a great evening, and please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and I'll play you the video now.
The final session of the APEC CEO Summit concluded with the two superpowers, China and the United States, addressing business leaders. President Xi Jinping of China spoke of the development needs of the Indo-Pacific region, calling for nations to focus on its people as the cornerstone of development.
One should not expect a particular model of development to fit all countries. Blindly copying the development model of others will only be counterproductive. So will be any attempt to impose one's own development model on others.
Currently, China and the US are caught in a trade war, with both countries introducing tariffs on both sides. America says this is in response to unfair practices by China over many years.
We have great respect for President Xi and great respect for China. But, in the President's words, China's taken advantage of the United States for many, many years. And those days are over. As the President's added, China has tremendous barriers. They have tremendous tariffs. And as we all know, their country engages in quotas, forced technology transfer, intellectual property theft, industrial subsidies on an unprecedented scale.
President Xi also explained China's Belt and Road Initiative. Developed 5 years ago, the BRI has been the blueprint for China's increasing engagement in this region, including here in Papua New Guinea. According to China's leader, the BRI was not in any way a plan to garner political control of developing countries through what was being described as debt traps.
Let me make this clear. The BRI is an open platform for cooperation. It is guided by the principle of consultation and collaboration for shared benefits. It is not designed to serve any hidden geopolitical agenda. It is not targeted against anyone, and it does not exclude anyone. It is not an exclusive club that is closed to non-members, nor is it a trap, as some people has labeled it. Rather, the BRI is a major and transparent initiative with which China shares opportunities and pursues common development with the rest of the world.
With extravagant amounts of funding being provided by China to developing countries, many of them in this region, there have been concerns that this level of funding may land many countries in debt that many may not be able to repay later on, a point not lost on America's Vice President.
And so today, let me say with great respect to all the nations across this wider region and the world, do not accept foreign debt that could compromise your sovereignty. Protect your interests, preserve your independence, and just like America, always put your country first.
Whilst this battle between China and the United States have implications for all economies, Vice President Pence has also assured economies that there is still room for close cooperation between the world's two superpowers.
The difficulties that the United States and other nations face with Beijing have been well documented by our administration. China knows where we stand. But as President Trump has said, in his words, we want to strengthen the relationship between our two countries and improve the lives of our citizens. And as the President prepares to meet with President Xi at the G20 summit in Argentina, we believe that progress could be made. Progress could be made between our two nations, even as the United States remains in a strong position.
Meribatulo, National MTV News.